collection update. Let's keep this high and tight. Let's go. What we're listening to in the background, Rusting Sun with Behind the Shadows. This came out on Black Devastation Records in a limited edition of 199 copies. Hand numbered. This is a really cool release with some very, very odd, kind of dissonant riffing. Great stuff. So, I've got a stack of stuff I've gotten in lately. More vinyl than CD, maybe for the first time ever on my channel. So, let's just bounce back and forth and have a great time, shall we? Nichochwen split 7-inch with Sweden's Bled. Yeah, I am a really big Nichochwen fan. Not only because I got to enjoy a nice pizza dinner with the gentleman, but also because they make really good music. And Bleg is also no slouch either. They, man, this is killer. They make this kind of sorrowful, kind of mournful, folky sounding Swedish, kind of modern black metal. Really no frills to it, just really well written, mournful, and kind of introspective sounding. The Nichochwen track on here sounds just like most Nichochwen stuff. By the way, Nichochwen's Panopticon split is up for pre-order, and I highly recommend you order a copy of that. It is killer. I've heard it all in its entirety, and it's so good. We will get more into Nichochwen soon, but this is Dusk. This is an old Wisconsin doom death band, and The Crypt / Dark Symphonies reissued this in 2015, and this compiles their Among Majestic Ruin EP, which is insanely great, and their self-titled EP or album as well. It's remastered, and I've heard some complaints about the remastering on this. I didn't really seem to mind it, but it is one of those records where the sound quality on it, the recording quality on it is amazing. It's guttural and just slow and just brutal when it needs to be. Like, if you're not familiar with Dusk and you're a fan of Disembowelment, by all means, seriously order this. I wouldn't have gone for the vinyl if they were not running a sale. On Dusk's Facebook page, I'll put a link down below, all of their merch is half off for the rest of the year. Kind of like in these like Black Friday, end of the year deals. I got a lot of stuff coming in as a result of that. So 2 LPs, $10. Can't go wrong with that. Dusk fucking rules. Trying to get this collection update over with by the time that LP is over with. 3 songs. Let's see. No. Darkthrone, Plague Wielder. So, as you know, I've talked about this a couple of times. Darkthrone is one of my favorite bands, but I neglected most of their post Total Death era stuff until very recently. So I've been going back buying up a lot of their stuff, and Plague Wielder might be my favorite post Total Death record. It's all there. It's fucking great. I'm stupid for pretending like this wasn't good just because it wasn't Transylvanian Hunger or Under a Funeral Moon or whatever, but I found this at my local record store for $20. And this is the Back on Black edition on red wax. I'll even show you. Remember what red looks like? There you go. Just 1 LP. Good shit. I actually went down to my record store to see if they had the new Blood Incantation on vinyl, and they didn't. But they had that, and they also had Celestial Lineage by my boys, Wolves in the Throne Room. I've seen these guys live about 3 times. One time on their first tour in Des Moines, Iowa. They played for about 20 people, and it was awesome. Got to hang out with these guys a couple years ago as well. Drank apple moonshine out of a jar in the back of their van. Good dudes. I love these guys. Two Hunters is one of the greatest records ever recorded in black metal history. And this one I had not listened to in a really long time. I revisited the vinyl copy of it yesterday and remembered, yeah, I know this album front to back. It's just been a long time since I listened to it. It just felt so good to be reconnected with such a beautiful album. Amazing photography by Alison Scarpula all over the place. One gripe though, I gotta say, and this has nothing to do with the band, but I don't like it when records are housed in these sleeves. They get scratched up and fucked up, and I just would rather, and even this is dented up. I would much rather they be in those white anti-static sleeves. So I don't know, just a gripe from collector to collector. But Celestial Lineage fucking rules. I'm gonna be listening to that quite a bit more lately. Let's do some CDs here. So in my research for my black metal mixtape, I ordered a few things to kind of try out that I didn't wind up using, but I ordered this Black Crucifixion Promethean Gift reissue. This is kind of a weird interpretation of the original artwork. This demo was originally released in 1993. This is one of the very first Finnish black metal bands to ever come about, and Beherit's drummer played on this one. So this is a Paragon Records reissue from 2007 of the original Promethean Gift EP with some bonus stuff tacked on. Nothing really too essential. But this EP is really cool. It's very, very minimalistic, slow, and almost doomy. It has a lot in common, I think, with maybe Samael or Elastus. It kind of reminded me of something Swiss, but there's just something about the way the early Finnish metal bands formed their riffs. It's just so, it's like a knock to the head with a hint of melody, but not quite melodic. Just really unique, and it's just something that was a through line for so many of their bands. But this is good stuff. Promethean Gift. Speaking of Gift, this is Path from Russia with there is not an English word contained on this entire release, so good luck. It is on YouTube. It came out on Depth of Void Productions. This was given to me by my buddy Ron. Thank you, Ron. It's just kind of modern pagan black metal in the Russian kind of style with accordion. How gimmicky that they put a skeleton with an accordion on the cover of it. I don't know. It's not my thing right now, since I'm just really into the more primitive kind of stuff. I may enjoy this a lot more someday, but it's pretty well done. Don't have really any gripes about it other than just not really my thing right now. Speaking of sales, Razorback Records is having a big sale. I picked up a couple things from them, starting off with Deteriorate, Echoes from the Past. This is their most recent release, and this is a reissue of a New Jersey death, kind of doomy metal band, bunch of rarities, but I don't think this is like all the rarities, because this pulls a couple of tracks from their first full-length In Ancient Beliefs. So I haven't really gone into detail to see if this is like a collection of all the demo stuff that you would otherwise be missing out on or what, but it's a collection. It's got some live stuff on it. You know the drill. But basically, like, I will buy any album with this airbrushed waterfall with like thorns and fallen trees and clouds all over it any fucking day. I'm in. I believe this was $5 from Razorback. Lots of $5 deals all over the place on Razorback, so check that sale out if you're so inclined. I also picked up a weird Russian bootleg from them of 10 Commandments by Malevolent Creation. I haven't listened to it yet. It's been probably at least a decade since I've listened to this, so I really sorely need to refamiliarize myself. And I pulled the trigger on this because I'm pretty sure that original copies are super hard to come by. I think Hammerheart reissued this last year, so I could have gotten that version of it, but I don't know. I just kind of felt like throwing this in there. It's not very well done. This artwork is kind of fucked up, and the booklet is just kind of super lacking anything worth looking at. But again, I don't know what the original looks like. I never owned a copy of it. Malevolent Creation were just a band that I always kind of overlooked because they were just kind of came off as a little generic to me. But I need to seriously correct that attitude. I don't remember putting this in my cart, but it came anyways. Gut Wrench with Mausoleum to Dwell and Rot in, and I don't know if he just might have thrown this in as a freebie, but I checked my order and I actually did put it in my cart. I don't know what I was thinking, but I listened to it and it's not really my kind of thing. It's really sloppy, kind of gory, grindy death metal from Mexico. It's not awful. Maybe someday it'll hit the spot, but I don't know. It wasn't very good, but it's cheap, at least. This is maybe the highlight of the video for me. Decrepit with Acrimonium. So this is the Ohio death metal band, and I discovered this because I was looking into that EP by From the Depths, and I was thinking, like, I love this cover art. What else has this cover artist done? Led me to this band, Decrepit, which I own a 7-inch from them from way back in the day, and I always just kind of thought of them as a forgettable death metal band, but I got to looking into this record and I wound up listening to it. I fell head over heels for it. So they are an Ohio, Midwest, kind of mid-90s death metal band, but at the last moment, this came out in 97, they turned into a black metal band. They really added a lot of melody and a lot of like soaring, sweeping, kind of grandiose riffing. No keyboards that I'm aware of to it, but it's not like blackened death metal, and it's not like a lot of other kind of stuff that kind of toes the line between those two. The death metal parts are death metal parts, and the black metal parts are black metal parts. And somehow it just works really well to have this kind of contrasting kind of thing. It's like a salty and sweet kind of deal going on. I really like it, and I don't think I've ever heard this kind of contrast within each song in any other band. I really can't think of any references to help describe this. It's just fucking awesome. I didn't know that these guys wound up kind of taking a more black metal approach in their final hour. And this cover art, again, I don't know if this is airbrushed or not, but fucking awesome. So I picked this up by dropping a 20 on it from Discogs. You should be able to do the same if you're so inclined. I recommend doing it. It's worth it. This is fucking good. It's kind of short, and it's kind of a weird way to put together an album. There's 3 original tracks, and then a Blood Feast cover, and then 2 more original tracks. So it's kind of short. It's 5 tracks plus a Blood Feast cover, which, I don't know. And the Blood Feast cover really isn't very good. I don't think their style really translates well to playing Blood Feast. I don't know. It's just a weird choice. One of those weird anomalies. So this came out on Dismal Records in 97, like I said, and it is great. Before this record closes up, my buddy Marty, who is looking really cute these days, sent me this LP, Cold Fells. This is sold out. You cannot get this. This was run in 2017 in an edition of 100, and I missed out on the pre-sales of it, and I always kind of regretted not biting it. But this is basically the 2 guys from Nichochwin playing a lot more like a mournful kind of doom, with another guy, Johnny Doyle, on guitar. And it's really, really good. It kind of reminds me of like Catatonia at times. Sort of like Warning or 40 Watt Sun to a lesser extent. But really good stuff. You can get this on their Bandcamp page. And they have been inactive since this was released, but I just found out they are working on new material again. So I am amped to have this. I thought I missed out on it, and Marty came through with a copy of it, and I am pleased as punch. He also sent me this freebie, which I see in cutout bins all the fucking time. This is a band called Arphaxat. I always felt like me and my buddy Ron were like the only people who knew about this band, but So this is the original singer of Deathspell Omega. I was always a really big fan of his vocals, so I'm happy to be able to enjoy his singing outside of those fucking D-bags. This is really, really, really bizarre and an acquired taste, and I'm not surprised that it is in a lot of cutout bins. Marty sent me this because this copy is kind of dinged up and whatever. I don't mind so much. Hell's Headbangers put this out a couple years ago. Red and black splatter merge. I'm not sure. Looks kind of like a failed color merge, but the thing about this is it's really stripped down, Iltiarny kind of black metal, just bass, drums, and vocals. Nothing more. There's no guitars, there's no synth. It is ugly fucking black metal. It manages to be minimalistic, but has a personality of its own that I really enjoy. So this was a really nice nail on the head kind of gift from Marty. I don't know if these guys ever released anything else outside of this, but this is one of those just like when you need the very center of your brain scratched with some kind of steel wool brush or something. This kind of hits the spot. It's fucking dirty, ugly, and nasty. And so that is it. We're all caught up on this collection update. Thank you for joining me, and we will see you in the future.